Joseph's journey from the pit to the palace is a remarkable story of resilience, faith, and divine providence, illustrating how adversity can be transformed into triumph through unwavering faith and integrity. Here's a detailed account of this journey. The pit. Joseph's journey began in the land of Canaan, where he was the favored son of Jacob. His father's special affection for him, symbolized by the coat of many colors, and his prophetic dreams of future greatness fueled his brothers' jealousy and hatred. Betrayal by brothers. One day, Joseph went to check on his brothers who were tending the flocks. Seizing the opportunity, they conspired to kill him. Instead, they threw him into an empty pit, intending to leave him to die. However, a caravan of Ishmaelites passed by, and they decided to sell Joseph as a slave for 20 pieces of silver. To cover up their deed, they dipped his coat in goat's blood and presented it to Jacob, making him believe Joseph had been killed by a wild animal. Slavery in Egypt. Service in Potiphar's house. Joseph was taken to Egypt and sold to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and captain of the guard. Despite being a slave, Joseph's exceptional abilities and integrity soon earned him Potiphar's trust. He was put in charge of Potiphar's household, overseeing all that he owned. However, Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph of attempting to seduce her after he consistently rejected her advances. As a result, Joseph was imprisoned. Imprisonment. Joseph's faithfulness in prison. In prison, Joseph's exemplary conduct and ability to interpret dreams once again earned him favor. The prison warden put Joseph in charge of the other prisoners. Two of Pharaoh's officials, the cupbearer and the baker, were imprisoned and had troubling dreams. Joseph interpreted their dreams accurately. The cupbearer would be restored to his position, and the baker would be executed. Joseph asked the cupbearer to remember him and mention him to Pharaoh, but the cupbearer forgot about Joseph for 2 years. Rise to power. Interpreting Pharaoh's dreams. Pharaoh had 2 disturbing dreams that none of his wise men could interpret. The cupbearer then remembered Joseph and his gift for interpreting dreams. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh and, with God's guidance, interpreted the dreams as a warning of 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of severe famine. He advised Pharaoh to store surplus grain during the years of plenty to prepare for the famine. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom and discernment, Pharaoh appointed him as the governor of Egypt, second only to Pharaoh himself. Joseph was given the Egyptian name Zaphenath-Paneah and married Asenath, the daughter of a priest. Governor of Egypt. Governor of Egypt. Managing the famine. Joseph oversaw the storage of grain during the 7 years of abundance. When the famine came, Egypt was well prepared, and people from surrounding lands came to buy grain. Joseph's strategic planning not only saved Egypt, but also made it a center of commerce and power during the famine. Joseph's brothers come to Egypt. The famine affected Canaan, prompting Jacob to send his sons to Egypt to buy grain. They did not recognize Joseph, who was now in a position of great authority. Joseph tested his brothers to see if they had changed. He eventually revealed his identity to them, forgiving them and attributing his journey to God's plan to save lives during the famine. Moving to Egypt. Joseph invited his father and brothers to live in Egypt, where they were provided for and settled in the land of Goshen. Jacob's family multiplied and prospered in Egypt, fulfilling part of God's promise to Abraham about his descendants becoming a great nation. A legacy. Joseph's final days. Joseph lived to see his descendants flourish. Before his death, he made his brothers swear to take his bones back to Canaan, the land promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This oath was fulfilled during the Exodus, when the Israelites carried Joseph's remains out of Egypt. Joseph's journey from the pit to the palace is a powerful testament to faith, forgiveness, and the belief that God's plan prevails even through the most challenging circumstances. His life story inspires countless individuals to trust in divine providence and remain steadfast in their faith and integrity, regardless of the trials they face.